Hi, I'm Mike Blackmer. I work for AWS Training and Certification as a curriculum developer. I'm presenting the Amazon EC2 overview. I'll start by showing you some basic facts about the product, then deliver a demonstration that shows you how to build and configure an Amazon EC2 instance. First off, what is EC2? It stands for Elastic Compute Cloud. Compute refers to the compute or server resources that are being presented. There's a lot of different fun and exciting things you can do with servers. Cloud refers to the fact that these are cloud-hosted compute resources. And elastic refers to the fact that if properly configured, you can increase or decrease the amount of servers required by an application automatically according to the current demands on that application. But let's stop calling them servers and use the proper name of Amazon EC2 instances. Instances are pay-as-you-go. You only pay for running instances and only for the time that they're running. There's a broad selection of hardware and software and selection of where to host your instances. There's a lot more to it than just that. For more information, go to aws.amazon.com/EC2. Now I'd like to demonstrate how to build and configure an EC2 instance. And during the process of that, I'd like to get into some of the detail of the topics that we've covered so far. During the demonstration, we log into the AWS console, choose a region where we're going to host our instance, launch the EC2 wizard, select the AMI, which stands for Amazon Machine Image, providing us with a software platform for our instance. Then we'll select the instance type referring to the hardware capabilities. Then we'll configure network, configure storage, and finally configure key pairs, which will allow us to connect to the instance after we launch and connect to it. I've already logged into the console. My first choice is to choose the region where the EC2 instance will be hosted. Right now it's set for Oregon, which happens to be close by. Click on the drop-down list and I could choose from any of these other regions, but I'll leave it at Oregon. Now let's go ahead and click on Services, EC2, and click Launch Instance. The first selection criteria is the Amazon Machine Image, and that refers to the software load that will come with the instance once it's launched. Quick Start gives you a list of a variety of Linux and Windows servers. There's also a marketplace with third-party images, and My AMIs in case you've built some of your own. We're going to select the Amazon Linux AMI. The next screen gives us the hardware selection. They're called instance types. And we can scroll down and see a large list of things from 8-core, 32 gigs of memory, 64 cores. There's a broad variety here. We're going to go low end just for the demonstration and choose the T2 Micro instance type. Next, we'll choose Configure Instance Details. I do have the option to create tons of images that will share the same hardware and software build. Seems like we're limited to 100,000. You know what? I want to keep my job, so I'm going to select one. We'll build one instance. Scrolling down, here is where we'll configure the network configuration. And here we're going to stick with the default virtual private cloud, and the default subnet, and the default auto-assigned settings, which will give us a DHCP address. Let's skip down. Everything else looks pretty good, so next we'll add storage. I can increase the size of the root volume, make that a 12 gig volume. I can change the type of disk, keep that. And I can also add a new volume, and we'll make that 16, just to keep things interesting. Also, I want this volume to be deleted if and when we choose to terminate or delete the instance. Next, we'll add tags. By default, an EC2 instance is given a rather cryptic identifier, so we want to give it a friendly name. So click Add Tag, name and value of, I'll just call it EC2 demo. I'll even make it actually say EC2 demo. Next, we'll configure security group. A security group is a set of firewall rules. It automatically creates a default rule for SSH connectivity, and I can go ahead and add another rule to allow for simple web connectivity. And I might want to give it a simple name like SSH HTTP, so I know exactly what this security group provides. Now I click Review and Launch. Provides us with an overview reminding us of our selections. It all looks like what I planned. And now I click Launch. And now, in order to connect to the system using SSH, I need to create a key pair. So I click Create a new key pair, call it EC2 demo, and download the private key. Save it locally, and that key is absolutely required in order to connect over SSH. And now the magic button to launch the instance. It's been successfully initiated. Things look good in the launch log. By the way, there's that cryptic identifier. I clicked on that, there's my friendly name, and it says the instance state is pending. I can click on the refresh button, and now it's running. That's terrific. Now that we've built it, let's try to access it. I highlight the instance, and down below under description, I can find the public DNS and public IP address of the instance. So I'm going to copy that, launch PuTTY, and the default user is EC2-user. So do EC2 user at, paste in the DNS, and I'll click Open. Cache that local key. Oh, it doesn't work because I haven't configured the private key yet. So create a new session with the same information, and now I'll select SSH and auth and browse for that private key. I saved it to this folder here, and it's not there. PuTTY on Windows requires a PPK file. So I need to open another application, it's very simple, called PuTTYgen. Click Load. Get to the right folder. Make sure we can see that there's the PEM file. Select that. And save the private key. And this will save it as a PPK file. And there it is under the PuTTY selection window. And now, when I open the connection, it automatically logs us in, and we've been successful. I hope you found the demonstration informative. For AWS Training and Certification, I'm Mike Blackmer.